This next we'll take a look at section 77 of the Professional Engineers Act, the Code of Ethics. The two sections of the code dealing with ethics are available in Appendix A and B of the Making a Complaint to Public Information Guide, available on the PEO webpage, and also available obviously on our Moodle page. So we'll start with a summary. The Code of Ethics is section 77 of the Professional Engineers Act, Regulation 941. It's the gold standard code, so this is the one that defines what we all need to aspire to. If you solely break the code of ethics, you are not necessarily guilty of professional misconduct. However, there are many elements in the Code of Ethics that could also lead to a breach of the professional misconduct level as well. There are 8 subsections to the Code of Ethics, section 77, and they deal with fairness, duty to the public, duty to the employer, conflicts of interest, moonlighting, teamwork, behavior towards other engineers, and acting without reprisal to report cases of bad engineering. We will now go through each of these 8 subsections. It's important to note before we do though, that when referring to part of the Code of Ethics or the professional misconduct, we need to refer to the section, subsection, and potentially any clauses thereafter. So for example, duty to public in the Code of Ethics is section 77, subsection 2. We'll see how this is important when we work through EGAD in class later this week. 77.1 deals with fairness, competence, and devotion to high ideals. So professional engineers are expected to be fair to their employer, their employees, any clients, and also to the public in general. And they should aim to have a high level of honor and integrity. They are required to keep abreast of any new developments in their area of engineering and to remain competent in that. 77.2i is about public safety. The rest of this clause is really about making sure that the public is informed as to the high standards that professional engineers do hold themselves. That includes making sure that inaccurate statements are avoided from engineers, that when expressing a formal opinion in a tribunal or in front of a public forum, that is based on knowledge and honest conviction, and that the fact that licensed engineers are licensed is made known to the public through public display of their licenses. Section 77.3 is all about being faithful to your employer, your clients, and declaring any conflicts of interest you may have. Although conflicts of interest are dealt with in much more detail in the professional misconduct sections of the Professional Engineers Act. Section 77.4 also deals rather with conflicts of interest. That if an engineer is in a situation where there might be a perception that there is a conflict, they need to disclose that immediately. Section 77.5 deals with the case where, in addition to being an employee of an engineering firm, you also do your own contracting in your own name. Surprisingly, perhaps, the Act allows for this, but it does require you to jump through some extra hurdles to ensure any conflicts of interest do not arise in this situation. You need to inform the employer that you're doing this. You need to inform any clients of the employer that you're doing this and what the nature of your status as an employee is. And you also need to ensure that you do not have any conflict between your own personal work and that of the employer. 77.6 is very plainly stated. You will cooperate with other professionals engaged on the project, there's an expectation that between professionals the relationships will be professional and that you will maintain those high standards. 77.7 is all about how we treat other engineers. So we're required to treat other engineers with courtesy, not to review other engineering work behind the other engineer's back, not to intentionally injure the reputation of another engineer, not to accept or give a bribe to secure work that would not be competitive, and to make sure that when we do engineering work that we have the right credit listed on that engineering work. The final clause of the Code of Ethics deals with the fact that all professionals should be able to stand up and report unprofessional, dishonest, or unethical conduct without any fear of any retribution.